This is another tutorial video for our digit management system. In this one, I'll explain how to export data from our database tables to a file. There are actually 4 different places where you can export data. So here on the Databases tab, we have 5 different tables defined. We have some queries for the tables and no result sets in memory at this point. So here I have a set of tables, and 2 of them are 6 columns. So if I highlight these 2, the 750,000 row and the 500,000 row, and let's say I wanted to export both of them out to a CSV file, I just right-click, select those 2, right-click, and choose the Export to File. And we can export in CSV format, JSON, XML, HTML. In this case, we're going to use the CSV, so we select that, we say OK, and we'll just export it out with, let's give it a friends. CSV, and it will begin exporting. Here you'll see the progress bar here at the bottom. It's going to export out 1.25 million rows and create that friends.csv. This takes about a minute to export it all out. There's 1 million and 1.25. So now it's finished, and if we go to our File Explorer here, you'll see that CSV file with 101 megabytes worth of CSV files. The second way we can do it is from queries. So for example, here I have 2 queries against this 500,000 row table. One that's going to find everything in Los Angeles, California, and another one that's going to find everything in New York, New York. So I select one or both of them, and we'll export that to a file. Right click, click. Let's do this one as JSON. So we'll export to JSON. We'll call it cities.json. And in this case, we only had 15 rows. So each one individually, that one only had 7 rows. That one had 8 rows. But if we come out here to File Manager, you'll see the cities.json. We just double click on it and you'll see it's all in JSON format. There's your 15 different files. It concatenated the 2 of them together, and away we go. Another way to do it is we could do it from the result sets. So we can just click on both of them down here and say we're going to save or export to a file. Let's do this one in HTML. So we will do that same. We'll just leave it LA HTML. Again, we export all 15, but this could have been 2 million rows. And come back here, and there's our HTML. See, we have our browser as the default, so if we just double click on that, it will bring up our browser, and you'll see the 2 tables in there for LA and New York as 2 separate tables. The final way to do it is we can select particular pieces in our rows here. We can just right click on those 3 rows, say we want to export to a file, and we can append it. Let's append that to our JSON file. So we're going to put it out in JSON format, and we will choose the cities.json. It'll ask us, because the file already exists, do you want to append it to the end or overwrite? We're going to append it on this time. Now those rows were already in there, so we should get now 18 rows instead of just the 15. Back to our cities.json. You'll see it put those 3 we just did here at the bottom, and they've been duplicated because they were in there before. So that's the four different ways in which we can export data out to a file. Thank you very much.